Kids are dropped off. Let's go get our fruit trees.
Let's do it. Shit's ready. Fresh apple juice here too.
Ooh. That's so cool.
Apple chips.
Completely modernized it.
Yeah. Medium pepperettes. Yeah, because if you pay for it, it allows this to open
Right.
and you get the items. That, your item has to be like here. Strawberry jam.
Wait for confirmation and then it'll open.
Yep.
Yay!
Oh, it's refrigerated too.
Cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
Let's go try some.
It stays open now.
Yeah, because it's empty.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Marco's gone in to get his jacket because it is a chilly one today, but it's actually really good for planting bare root trees. It's overcast, it's a little drizzly. It actually snowed a bit this morning, which is crazy for me. Well, crazy enough compared to the previous years. We have had snow in May. We're in Canada after all. So what we've done is we've laid out where we're going to position our trees. This cardboard, that way, that I've been collecting is for surrounding all the trees to help fruit tree gild them. We're gonna eventually get rid of every ounce of grass down here, so that's my mission for this summertime. And we're gonna put in some amazing pathways and just some other food producing foods and plants. So we've laid everything out, so let me show you that, and we are going to start putting them in. Okay, so this is our existing pear tree, and we're in the stages of starting to espalier it, because that way it gives me access to the plants behind. So gooseberry, a couple haskap, we've got our grapevine here, and on this side we've laid out our peach trees, so they're gonna go here. The kids are getting a little bit too old for our ninja line as they age, but while the trees are small, they'll still have space to play with it. But eventually we knew we were getting rid of it anyways, so we are planning for the trees to go near it because we know it won't always be there. You can actually start to see some snow coming back in the air. It is brisk, guys. Over on this side where we've been doing some work already, we're going to put in another cherry tree. So we have our cherry tree, and now it's going to have a brother or a sister. Next to the playhouse, we have 2 more pear trees. So this is an Asian pear that is multi-grafted, and this is a European pear that is multi-grafted. So I'm not a huge fan of multi-grafted trees. They tend to just give a little bit more trouble, but because we have the existing pear tree behind me, if one of these varieties only ends up having one particular variety survive on these grafted trees, then it's okay. We still have cross-pollination. I'm not just planting one single tree with multi-grafted varieties in the hopes of it pollinating itself. I have that cross-pollinator already that's thriving, so it's not a big deal if some of these grafts just don't take well or don't last for an eternity. I know everything looks so messy, but that's spring. We're in the midst of so many projects, but I promise you by the end of summer it'll look gorgeous. So again, we've got the European pear and the Asian pear here, another cherry back there, 2 peach trees here, and then this lonely tree in the middle is one that I am so excited for, and it is an almond tree. Can you believe we can grow almonds here? I am just, oh my gosh, I am amazed. This particular variety, it goes safely to zone 5. Some even say zone 4, so well within our climate. So it should be coming back year after year, and you treat it a lot like stone fruit when you plant it. So it is highly recommended when you plant stone fruit varieties. So like my peaches, my cherry, and again this almond tree, to give it a heavy prune when you first plant it in order to gain more success on that planting. So just keep that in mind if you're planting any of those varieties or things like apricots, nectarines, any of those stone fruits. So this is the problem in our particular backyard, is there's a ton of old utility wires buried. Now there's been no work done back here. We have had endless locates done, so the whole call before you dig. So we know that it's perfectly safe to dig back here, that a lot of these wires are inactive, if not all of them. But I obviously don't want to sever that if I can avoid it, just in case. So it always takes me a little bit longer to dig and plant things back here because there's a high likelihood I'm running into something like this. So before you dig in a space, always do a locate just in case there's something there. Again, I think we've had about 5 of them done on our backyard at least, so we know we are covered, we are safe. But be careful digging. Always do the locate call beforehand, and just be mindful when you're digging down any wires, things of that nature, piping. Be careful. Okay, first one is done. That is the almond tree. I promise you it is standing straight. Just looks a little wonky. Now, when I prune this, I'm going to be selecting 3 of the strongest here and actually chopping majority of this off, which sounds absolutely absurd. It sounds like you're throwing your money away, but I assure you it will make that tree have more success and be stronger in the long run. So definitely prune when you plant your trees. They are all in. We're just wrapping them with some wire because, you know, those springtime bunnies are still pretty hungry. We're not going to prune just yet. We will today, but we have to go pick up our little kiddos, our little homesteaders, and have some late lunch with them. And then I will come home and I will prune these. I cannot wait to see this all come together. And to see these in bloom. Look at that almond tree. We do have to support them, so they're not fully straight yet, but we're getting there. I think it looks pretty good, eh? Nice job. Yeah. Nice job. That will be absolutely bunny proof.
Yeah.
So one thing, when you invest in fruit trees that definitely aren't the most inexpensive thing in the world, but can produce bushels and bushels of food eventually and make it so worth it, you want to protect your investment. Back home after a lovely lunch. It's always so nice to get together with my in-laws. I have the best in-laws on the planet. You're gonna hear my kids on the neighbor's trampoline, missing one. But they're having all kinds of energy burnt off since getting home. They love being outside. So now I get to tackle the pruning. Am I going to show you how I prune these? Nope. There are multiple ways to prune fruit trees. A lot depends on your own personal preference. A lot depends on what type of tree you're pruning. There's all kinds of ways to do it. What I will say is many are scared to plant fruit trees because they don't know how to prune. The one rule you need to remember is the tree will grow. So if you screw up, it's still going to grow some branches back, and you can kind of reshape things as you learn more about it. So please don't hesitate buying fruit trees just because you're scared to prune it. The tree will right itself. It will grow some branches back. You'll be okay. Grow some fruit trees. Hubby has joined me now. The other thing I will mention, sharp pruners. Okay, I have my handhelds. I also have my lopper, and rubbing alcohol, your best friend. I'm gonna pour this into a mason jar, and then before I switch trees, I am going to dunk my pruners in, make sure they're nice and disinfected so I don't accidentally pass any disease or fungal issues from one tree or another. On the same tree, you don't necessarily have to dunk your pruners like for every cut, every branch. Some do. That's totally fine, to each their own. I have a lot of pruning to do back here, so I am gonna do it on a per tree basis, because in my mind, if one tree, that tree is already dealing with something, and they shouldn't be, they're brand new, but if it was already dealing with something, that whole tree technically is surrounded by it. It has it. So again, that's just me. Could some things be passed if one branch doesn't have it or another? Sure. But again, I'm gonna keep it easy on myself. I'm gonna do it per tree. Okay, so this is the before of one of the multi-grafted pear trees. This is our Asian pear. And then I will show you the after.
You're not playing.
All right, you can see quite a bit of that is off. Now, when I was pruning, my cuts are angled to help avoid any water from sitting on the fresh cuts if it rains. Also, I prioritized the buds that are facing in the direction that I want stems to grow. So I don't want, this inner stem, this inner bud to grow, because then it's going to be growing into the other branches. I want this one to start heading out this way to help shape the tree. So I did that everywhere. So you can see like this one, it's going to go out this way. This one, going to go out this way. And we're going to try and maintain more of an open center. Now this will naturally be a little bit more challenging because we obviously have this big one right in the middle. But as this tree develops and it starts growing more, I can start to train these ones to come out further and then open this center even more, because these two are from the same graft, the same variety. Okay, now again with stone fruit, it's going to be a little bit more aggressive because you want to prune down to the 3 strongest branches, preferably towards the base of the tree, okay? Because we're aiming again for that open center. So let's see how this goes.
Push me! You can also kick.
Okay.
Every time I
starting.
It's like getting a stay away from me. Yes.
Want this to come out.
Stay away from me and my family. You monster.
You can see drastic difference. Some people might even take these shorter, but based off where the buds were and where I want those branches to grow and open up, that's what I've decided now. We'll see what the future holds. Again, fruit trees are relatively forgiving. Trees in general, once they're established, they're going to shoot off new growth. So if I find, I just did not prune this properly the first time, I have other chances to make it right. Okay, here's one of the peach trees. And I'll show you, obviously this is the before. Let's see the after. All right, so this cherry tree is gonna seem like such a drastic change. It is only, one variety grafted onto rootstock. So as long as we're above the graft point, which no one's gonna prune, hopefully way down here, you're gonna have the grafted variety to be what's growing, right? Now, rule of thumb is kind of knee height, maybe hip height, for where you want almost the start of the branching to begin on the tree. So you can see on our cherry tree over here, this is closer to just above hip height. It's got a lovely frost crack, but it's still doing well. And we found that to be just a smidge too high. So I'm actually going to go lower on this particular one to start that branching in that canopy even lower. This way it'll just help with harvesting and reaching and keeping the tree at a much more manageable size and height, especially considering we just put 6 new fruit trees in this tiny space. We're only 35 wide and about I would say 40 deep in this area, not even, like 30 deep. That's a lot of fruit trees in that space. So you could absolutely put more if you are very much mindful of the pruning. But I think this will be our max for a little bit. But because of that, I wanted to be really mindful over the size that we started these at. So let me show you the difference of this cherry tree once I'm all done. That's how much I just pruned off that. This is what's left. It feels so crazy to do this to a fruit tree that you just bought. But trust me, it is so worth it. I thought I'd show you while I'm here too. Next to the cherry tree that I just pruned is this little tiny seedling in here. And that is a quince tree that we started from seed. We got some quince delivered in our produce delivery, and I thought I'd try my hand at planting the seeds. I had 2 of them grow, and then I was like, they're supposed to be really hardy for this zone. Let me try, and I stuck them out over winter, and they were not big at all. They were like this big. One didn't make it, but one has, and it's starting to thrive. So this will not be its permanent spot. If this does start to put on more size, especially being so close to that new cherry tree, I'm going to be digging it up and moving it. But it's a lot of fun growing things from seed. If you guys haven't tried, definitely do so. It's always such a fun experiment. But especially fruit trees, they are so rewarding. Again, don't be scared by it. Don't be nervous. Get out there, grab some trees. Do some research, obviously, pick your varieties well, pick your root stock well that it's grafted to. The nursery we went to is incredibly knowledgeable, so if you're local, I highly suggest reaching out. I know there's also some people in the area, one in particular called the Urban Orchardist. I believe he's out of Guelph. He does this for a living. He comes to people's backyards, does the pruning for them, does a lot of education. absolutely amazing. So check out your resources, you know, do your research and see what's best for you. But adding in those perennial foods that can give you so much food in the not too distant future, it's always so rewarding. Okay, that is it for today. Throughout the weekend, I'm going to start sheet mulching, so laying some cardboard down all around this area, because the plan is to no longer have to mow it. We're just going to have almost like food forest in each cottage garden all around here that kind of tends to itself, aside from the fruit tree pruning obviously, and some dividing of some plants as the years go on. But I am so excited. There's definitely going to be some more work just to cover this all up, and I am totally fine with that, especially now that the trees are in. That was one of the biggest jobs, and it's done, so that's awesome. It wasn't even that hard. Like truly, dig 6 holes, put the trees in, prune them. It's not that bad. It's just a busy day, so it makes it feel like it was tedious. I hope you enjoyed today. A little bit of a day in the life, so to speak, of coming to visit the nursery with me and my hubby, and just to talk about fruit trees. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out, and happy growing.